welcome to your yoga practice today. We're going to get started in a comfortable seated position. So go ahead and cross your legs or sit back on your knees. Just take a seat that feels natural and comfortable to you. And as you're ready, you can start to sit up nice and tall, maybe gently close the eyes and relax your hands into your lap. We're going to start just by taking a few deep breaths here. Inhale completely through the nose, filling up the belly with air, and letting it go. And deep inhale, and let it go. Just taking a few moments, keep breathing deeply just like this, and give yourself some time to arrive into your body and into your mat. Are you feeling the muscles around the sitting bones, the shoulders, and the chest begin to soften? So you start to settle into stillness. Start to settle into the connection of your breath. Continuing that rhythm of inhales and exhales. Let's take one more deep breath in through the nose and let it out. Feel free to bring the hands up to heart center, Anjali Mudra. Let your palms connect and let your thumbs touch up against your heart. As you inhale, stretch your hands up nice and high towards the sky, and exhale, bow forward, bringing your hands to the mat. And if you can, place your forehead down on your fingertips. Good. Take a moment to sit yourself back up. And we're going to begin to bring some spinal waves into our seated pose here. So as you exhale, press the back body behind you, round the spine, draw the chin in towards the chest. And inhale, draw the heart forward, snaking the spine as you lift open the chest. And maybe add in a few neck and shoulder rolls here. So we're just taking a few moments to sort of wake up the spine, to give a little bit of movement into the body. So really allow yourself to be kind of loosey goosey here. We're rocking forwards and back, but also maybe a little bit of side to side starts to creep in as you gently roll the spine around in circles. There's no right or wrong. Just go with your breath. Make it as fluid. Make it as seamless. Make it as unique to you as possible. And just continuing with the breath here, gentle circles back and forth, side to side. See if you can feel the breath and the movement originate from the base of the spine, then moving up into the rib cage. And finally the shoulders, drawing big circles around and back. Just a few more rounds here. Use your breath. Getting fully embodied into the spine, rocking the chest, the hips, the shoulders around. Breathe in nice and deep. As you inhale, stretch your arms up nice and high towards the sky. Keep swaying back and forth. Take a full breath in as you reach up through the tips of the fingers. And exhale, fold forward. Hands to the mat. Forehead to the mat. Relax and take a breath. As you're ready, wiggle into the fingertips, press into the palms, and gently bring yourself back to a tabletop pose. Stretch your left leg out long behind you, keeping the toes touching. Breathe into the back of the hamstring as you reach out through the back heel, and then inhale, lift the toes up off of the mat. Keep your foot flexed. As you inhale, stretch the right hand, right fingers out in front of you. Spinal balance pose. Feel yourself extend out nice and long in both directions, and then point the toe, draw the knee and the elbow in towards the belly as you round the spine. Inhale, draw back out, and exhale, draw back in, elbow to knee, chin to chest, rounded spine. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw it in. Good. Keep going. Use that fire up the breath. Inhale, extend. Exhale, draw it in. Engage the low belly. Inhale, extend. This time bend the left knee. Reach the heel up towards the sky. You can stay here, just reaching the toes up towards the ceiling, or take the right hand, reach around behind you to grab the top of the left foot. Take one big breath in, extending into the heart before you exhale, release. Come down onto all fours. Take a few breaths to take more spinal rolls here, drawing the heart up towards the sky, wiggling back and forth, maybe tenting the fingertips. Remember, loosey goosey, shake it out in whatever way it feels good to you. No right or wrong. When you're ready, settle back into tabletop pose and draw the right foot out behind you. Keep the toes on the mat for now, extend out through the heel, and then as you're ready, lift the toes up off the mat. Left hand reaches forward, spinal balance. Draw the rib cage towards each other so you can feel stabilized and secure in the center of the body. As you're ready, bend the knee and elbow, exhale, draw it in. Inhale, extend. Use your breath. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, extend. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Good. Exhale, bend the knee, reach the toes up towards the ceiling, maybe taking the left hand around to find the top of the right foot. If you're not finding a bind here, just lift the toes and the knee up towards the sky as you arch the back and reach the heart forward. Breathe wherever you are. And then exhale, release, come back, find tabletop pose. And again, release with some spinal balances. Tent the fingertips, take a few breaths, shake it out. When you're ready, let's tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back. Let's find downward facing dog. Press really strong into the palms of both hands as you lift the hips up and back. And let's take a moment to pedal into each knee. Really spend some time there. So rotate between the left and the right knee, bending and just taking a moment to really breathe and lengthen the muscles of the backs of the legs. As you inhale, draw the heart forward and come to plank pose. You're going to exhale, reach back towards downward facing dog, letting the spine originate your movement. Inhale, float forward, plank pose, lead with the heart. Then exhale, draw your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward. Exhale, scoop out the low back, reach your hips back and lengthen into the legs. Find your breath. Floating forward on an inhale, plank pose, strong in the belly. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga dandasana, come all the way to the mat. Untuck the toes as you inhale, lengthen the heart, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Take a moment to find the breath, find the palms and the feet rooted firmly into the mat. And find your breath. Good. Let's inhale, look forward towards your hands. As you exhale, bring your feet up to your hands and release in a forward fold. Let the torso hang heavy as you gently sway side to side here, bringing that loosey goosey up to the top of our mat. Maybe bend into one knee and then the other, sway side to side, shake out the head, shake out the neck. As you're ready, inhale, halfway lift, draw your hands onto your shins. Before you exhale, release back down, forward fold. Let's inhale and slowly roll ourselves up to a standing pose, stacking the bones of the spine until you eventually come to stand at the top of your mat. Let's inhale, draw the hands up nice and high towards the sky. As you exhale, forward fold. Let's halfway lift, tent the fingertips, heart comes forward, inhale. Exhale, step or hop back, chaturanga dandasana. Flowing down to plank pose, finding upward facing dog or cobra. Before you exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Good. Lift the left leg up high in the sky with an inhale breath. As you exhale, bend the knees, step forward for high lunge. Firm yourself on the mat as you inhale, reach the chest and reach the hands up nice and high for the sky. To stabilize yourself here, hug the thighs towards one another as you bend deeply into the front knee. Inhale, extend the heart up towards the sky. Before you exhale, bring the hands to the heart and lower down onto the back knee. Untuck your toes. We're going to take the right hand down by your side onto the floor or your mat. As you extend the left fingertips up and over to the right, start to lengthen the left side body here. Take an inhale breath, come up through center and switch sides. Bring your left fingertips over to the left, reaching the right fingertips up and over. Extend into the side body. Draw the hands up to heart center as you're ready and tuck the back toes. Firm up the back thigh and inhale, lift the knee, come back to high lunge. Take a breath to stabilize. Before you exhale, rotate the right heel down to the mat, finding warrior two. Extending both arms out long in front of you. Firm yourself up through the soles of the feet and the base of the spine, standing nice and strong. Let's take it back to peaceful warrior. So bring the right hand back down across the thigh and then come forward, side angle pose. We're going to flow here with our breath. As you inhale, lift yourself up through warrior two. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Extend into the side body. Come forward and side angle. Keep flowing, keep moving at your own pace with your own breath. Peaceful warrior and side angle. Good. Keep the legs planted nice, firm, and strong. As you come back into warrior two, straighten the front leg, hinge from the hips, find Trikonasana, triangle pose. Let the right arm extend up towards the ceiling as the left hand finds the shin, the ankle, or whichever position is most accessible to you here. Rotating the heart up towards the sky if you can, stacking the shoulders, stacking the hips. Now we'll lift ourselves back up. Warrior two, bring your hands to your hips and turn your right heel in to meet your left. We're going to inhale, stretch the arms out nice and high towards the sky. As you exhale, sink down for goddess squat. So we're going to let our inhales lift us up, stretch out through the fingertips, and exhale, bend both knees, sit down for goddess. So we're bringing a sense of fluidity and movement here, but just move and wiggle with your breath here. As you inhale, stand up nice and tall, and then exhale, sink down into your knees. Maybe letting the hips and the knees sway side to side. Maybe letting the arms pulse with the knees. Just take a few breaths here. Inhale, standing up tall. Exhale, bending the knees. Finding whatever movement feels good. On your next exhale, come forward again for warrior two. Take an exhale breath, windmill both hands down to frame the front foot, step back to plank pose, and exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the belly. Cobra pose or upward facing dog, lifting the heart up towards the ceiling, and exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Take a few breaths here to reconnect with the breath. Releasing any sort of tension that might have crept in around the face or into the body. Remember that we're just here to breathe and have fun. It's okay if we don't get everything perfectly right? We're all about wiggles and loosey goosey in this practice, right? As you're ready, let's extend the right leg up high in the sky. Step forward, high lunge pose. Firm yourself up through the soles of the feet and inhale, stand up nice and tall. Let's interlace the hands above your head. As you draw the wrist back behind you, lift the heart up towards the sky. Breathe into the heart. Keep your legs strong and supportive. Exhale, hands down through heart. Lower down onto your left knee and untuck your toes. Draw the left hand down by your side and reach the right fingertips up and over, stretching into the side body. Keep the thighs strong and supportive. Find your breath. Exhale as you're ready. Come up and over to the second side. Right hand finds the mat. Left fingertips reach up and over. Let's inhale, lift ourselves back up. Exhale, bring hands to heart. Tuck the left toes back behind you and inhale, lift the back knee nice and strong back to high lunge pose. Stretch the arms up overhead and exhale, find warrior two on the second side. So use your breath to settle into warrior two. Relax the shoulders. And as you're ready, take it back for peaceful warrior. We'll inhale up warrior two and exhale side angle, front elbow onto front knee. Extend the left fingertips forward. Good. Take it back, peaceful warrior. Use your breath. And side angle. Good. Find the fluidity of this back and forth motion, almost like you are moving through water as you draw your torso forward and back. Good. Settle up into warrior two, and as you're ready, exhale, straighten the front leg, find triangle pose, second side. Letting the left arm reach up as you gaze either down towards the floor or up towards the left fingertips, whichever feels best for your neck here. Good. Take a moment to breathe into the side body. And exhale, come back up, warrior two. Turn all 10 toes to face the left side of your mat, and we'll take our goddess flow again. So big inhale, stretch up nice and tall, and exhale, bend both knees, sit down for goddess. Shake it out. Flow with your breath. Inhale, stretch up, reach the heart up. Exhale, sit low, goddess. Maybe try the shoulder dips on an exhale if you like, drawing the right and then the left shoulder towards the midline. Remember, taking whatever movements feel good to you here. Just breathe. Good. Inhale, sweep it up nice and high. Exhale, come back, warrior two. Take a breath to solidify yourself here. When you're ready, we'll exhale, windmill both hands down to frame the front foot again. Step back to plank pose and exhale, lower yourself down, chaturanga. Upward facing dog, draw the heart forward and exhale, find downward facing dog. Hips reach up and back. Settle into some stillness here. Come back to your breath. Let's look forward towards your hands and exhale, step to the front of your mat, forward fold. Let's take a few extra breaths here in our forward fold. Just let it all hang out through the crown of your head. And then as you're ready, lift the hands up, big inhale, breath, Tadasana pose. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close the eyes here and take a deep breath in. Wonderful. Open your eyes. Let's prepare for a balancing posture. So for tree pose, let's start with the hands on the hips, and then we'll come up onto your left tiptoes, kickstanding the foot either on the ankle, the shin, or maybe drawing the foot up into the thigh. Bring the hands to the heart and gaze forward, lifting the heart up and pressing the grounded foot strong into the mat. For my more advanced yogis, you're free to take half lotus here, drawing your lifted foot up into the hip crevice, or staying with tree pose, whichever feels most embodied for you today. Let's stretch the arms up nice and high overhead wherever you are. As you exhale, gently bend the elbows. Feel the shoulders draw across the back and lift the heart up. Find your breath. Find your stillness. Good. Gently bring the hands back to heart center. Extend your lifted leg out in front of you and settle back into standing pose, Tadasana. Close the eyes, take a breath. And preparing for our second side here. Let's begin to lift the right toes up off the mat. Again, kickstanding either on the ankle or the shin or up into the thigh, trying to avoid the knee joint if at all possible. Lift up from that left hip while you press the floor into the mat. Bring your hands up to your heart. Find your focus, find your breath, find your strength and stability. Let's lift the hands up nice and high. Big inhale. Exhale, bend the elbows, drawing the heart forward, letting the chest shine towards the sky. And breathe deeply and fully here. Slowly draw your hands back to heart center, extending the right leg out in front of you before releasing back down Tadasana mountain pose. Take a breath. Wonderful. Inhale, lift the hands up nice and high towards the sky, and exhale, forward fold. Good. Let's halfway lift with a deep breath in, and exhale, step or hop back, plank pose, lowering yourself half or all the way down. Open heart, upward facing dog. Exhale, take it back, downward facing dog. Wonderful. Let's start to slow it down here now. On your next inhale, let's lift the left leg up high in the sky. Bend the knee, come forward, this time for pigeon pose. So take your knee to the left and draw your ankle to the right as you lower down onto the back knee. We'll stay lifted here, tenting the fingertips up as you lift the chest and sink down into the hips. And just take a moment to feel the hips growing heavy. Feel the body transition into stillness. And then if you feel ready, or you would like to, you can lower down onto the elbows, coming into sleeping pigeon pose. And feel free as we start to soften towards the end of our practice, if you'd like to close your eyes as you breathe around these final shapes, really allowing the spaciousness to come into the body. As you're ready, gently inhale, begin to lift the chest up. Now feel free to stay in this lifted pigeon here, just working on making the hips more comfortable. Or if you like, you can reach the back heel in towards the sitting bones, taking the right hand to reach around back and find the top of the right foot. Preparing for king pigeon here. Open the heart forward, breathe. And then softly allowing yourself to release, either from king pigeon prep or simply lifted pigeon. Press both palms strong into the mat and release back to three-legged dog. Lift the left leg up high in the sky behind you, bending the knee and stack your hips. Draw your toes over towards the right. Good, let's come back to downward facing dog and prepare for the second side. Inhale, lift the right leg up high in the sky. Exhale, bend the knee, come forward, pigeon pose, second side. So lower down onto the back knee, untuck your toes, and give yourself a moment to just settle into the hips here. So maybe that involves a little bit of shimmying side to side, a little bit of adjusting so you can feel comfortable. Just take a moment to do whatever that is that your body needs so that you can allow yourself to settle into the stillness of this pose. A few more breaths in lifted pigeon here. Heart is strong. Breath is full. And then exhale, let's lower down softly. Sleeping pigeon pose. You can come down onto elbows. Maybe all the way on the belly if that's comfortable for you. Just settle in here. Notice if there's any tension, any tightness that you're holding on to that doesn't need to be there. Give yourself that permission to release. And start to softly make your way back up, bringing palms underneath you and lifting the heart. Again, your choice here. If you'd like to lift the left heel in towards the sitting bones, reach around with the left hand to grab the top of the foot for king pigeon prep. If you're not finding a bind, just simply stay in your lifted pigeon here with the left leg behind you. Wherever you are, staying confident, staying full in the breath. And exhale, softly releasing, making your way back through downward facing dog. Take your time and stretch the right leg out long behind you. Bend the knee and stack the hips, drawing the toes over to the left. Release down, downward facing dog. And then let's come down to sit on the knees. Let's lift ourselves up to stand on our knees. We're going to inhale, take the hands up nice and high overhead, and exhale, bring the hands to the heart. I'm going to play with a bit of back bends here. So inhale, take the hands up to the heart. Exhale, bring your right hand back behind you for your right heel, stretching the left hand up and over slightly to the right. Arch your back. Inhale, right hand finds center. Exhale, bring your left hand back to your left heel. Extend through the side body, press your hips forward, arch your back. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, right hand back towards right heel. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Starting to flow with your breath here, maybe dipping the hips down between each breath to better get that sense of rhythm, or just to make the grip on the heels a bit more accessible. And take a few more rounds with your breath here. Good, drawing the hips forward, arching the low back. Good, let's meet back in center. Bring both hands up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's tuck the toes behind you for Ustrasana or camel pose. So bring the hands onto the low back, fingertips facing down towards the floor, as you gently press the hips forward and lift the heart up towards the sky. And let's just take a few moments to breathe here, fully into the throat, into the chest. If you'd like, you can place the hands down on the heels behind you, letting the hips press forward, heart lifting up, arching the back, maybe dipping back into the throat, only if it feels okay. Wherever you are in your camel pose, stay with your breath and make sure that it doesn't feel forced or aggravating to you. Bring your hands back to your low back if they weren't there already, and starting from the base of the spine, slowly unravel, coming forward. Come back to sit on your heels, release your hands in your lap, and close your eyes. Good. Let's release the knees out wide, come back to sit on the heels. Let's find a child's pose. Maybe gently rocking side to side through the hips one final time. Letting any lingering tension or tightness release from the hips. Forehead relaxes down onto the mat. Elbows are loose as your palms touch the earth. Softly lift yourself up and roll over your knees so you can come back to a seat, and eventually coming down to lay on the back. Draw your knees in towards your chest and reach up to hug the knees in towards the body. Separating the knees just slightly and allow yourself to rock side to side, massaging the low back onto the mat. You can start to feel gravity help you pull your knees further in towards the chest, or maybe letting your hips fall a bit farther down into the mat. Allow your eyes to gently close if they're not already. Release the arms out by your side and let's cross the left thigh over the right, letting both knees fall to the right for one final spinal twist here. You can take the hands in whatever position feels most comfortable to you, and just allow yourself this final little release of the spine. And draw your knees both back up to center, softly uncross. And just take a moment here to neutralize, maybe letting both knees knock in towards one another if that feels okay for you. Softness in the breath and in the muscles around the face, the jaw, the eyes, the shoulders. When you're ready, cross the right thigh over the left this time, allowing both knees to fall over to the left. Feeling free to change up your arm position if you need to do so to make yourself more comfortable here. Good. Inhale, lift both knees back up to the sky, uncross. And again, maybe step your feet out wide to the mat and allow the knees to knock in towards one another. As you're ready, you can release both legs out long in front of you. Release both hands down by your sides. Allow yourself to take up space across your mat as you let your whole body release down into the floor. As you settle into your Shavasana, you can release any hold on your breath. Just allow yourself to breathe. Allow yourself to really enjoy the stillness. Let's take a deep breath in and out. Gently draw both knees into the chest, softly rolling over through one side. Give yourself a moment maybe to rest your head against your arm, really taking your time to be slow and intentional as we transition out of our practice and back out into the world. Softly press yourself up to a seated pose. If you'd like, you can rest your hands in your lap or bring your hands up to heart center. Taking a moment of gratitude for this practice, for this time and space to dedicate to ourselves. I thank you so much for your practice. Namaste.